Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Diasporic Nigerian. Welcome. We're just gonna wait for a few more minutes and then get more folks to join in. Hi, welcome. If this is your first time on the Diasporic Nigerian, welcome. My name is Mary. I am the founder. This is pretty much a multimedia hub that is dedicated to highlighting Nigerian professionals in Canada, curating nostalgic memories for you, and just celebrating all-around Nigerian excellence. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. And on today's episode of the Nigerian Professionals in Canada series, we're going to be meeting Amy. So stay tuned and we're going to join her in a little bit. But how's everyone doing? If you're here, say hi, wave, say something. I want to know how y'all are doing, okay? Hi. Welcome. Say hi if you hear me. I feel like you hear me. So say hi, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So for everyone joining, just also letting you folks know that we're going to be giving out 2 books. When Amy comes in, she's going to be talking a little bit more about those books. So whoever comments the most, you're most likely going to go home with one of those books. Okay? But hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Hi Arthur. Hello everyone. Also, someone said it was their first time. Welcome. My name is Mary. I'm the founder here at the Diasporic Nigerian. Nice to meet you. Make sure you follow us and see the rest of the things that we have in store for you. We also have a movie night coming up on Valentine's Day, so make sure you sign up for that, okay? All right, cool. So before Amy joins in, I'm just going to let you know a little bit about her. I'm going to read some of her bio, and then when she comes in, she'll tell us a little bit more about herself. So Amy is an author, speaker, and business data analyst. She's also the founder of a nonprofit organization called Living Meaningfully. This organization was born after she wrote her first book, Living a Meaningful Life. So remember when I said somebody was going to be going home with a book? That's the book I'm talking about. So Living Meaningfully is vested in aiding individuals to discover and walk in their purpose, grow together, and impact lives. Amy's mission is to help young adults discover their purpose as they journey through life so they can actualize their potential and build quality relationships. Her pillars of influence are family and education. I love that. She also wants to leave a legacy and be remembered as someone of influence who impacted lives and gave all to all people. I love that. Amy, if you're on here, feel free to request now so we can get this started. But if you're just joining us, welcome. Tell somebody that we're going live and get them to come join this conversation, okay? All right. Just gonna send a request to Amy, wait for her to join, and we'll get this started. But thank you all for joining. Hi.
Hello, Mary.
How are
you doing?
you? I'm good. How's your Sunday been so far?
It's been quite busy, but we move. But yeah, it's good. It's like this month has just been going really fast, but we're here.
Tell me about it. It's literally just the 7th, and I feel like I've done so much this past week. But you know, it is what it is.
You look so beautiful. You're glowing. I can see the whole.
Thank you, sis. Look at you. Don't gas me up like that. Look at you. All right. So thank you so much for taking out time. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking out time to join this conversation today. I'll ask you some questions, but before we get to those really important questions, I want us to get, to know you a little bit better. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, what is your full name, and tell us the meaning of your name?
All right. Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Mary, for doing this. You're doing amazing as a person, and also with what you're doing with the Diasporic Nigeria. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to speak on your page. And I hope that this conversation inspires a lot of people, not just inspire you, but make you move from where you are to where you're meant to be. Yeah. I'm Amy. For those that do not know me, I'm formerly called the Bright Lights, but my full name is Emikele Oseni Ilama. I'm from Edo State. I'm an Auchi girl. Yeah, I know Mary is from Edo as well, but yeah, I'm Edo, and the full meaning of my name is God has a purpose for my life. So that's what my name is all about.
I feel like your name it just goes well with what you're doing. See, I didn't even know that, but I was just like, let me ask this question. There might be a connection there, and I love that you kind of explain that to us. Yes, we're both Ouchie babes. I love to see Edo women on here, so I had to make sure I asked you that.
Amazing, yeah.
All right. So my other question for you is, what is something you consider comfort food?
Comfort food. Well, I'm a foodie, so I don't even know what comfort food is anything, but I'm always retracting to rice. Rice is, I can eat rice any day, anytime. Different types of rice. It can be fried rice, it can be jollof rice, whatever. I'm always snacking on one or two things, but food, rice and noodles are like things that always go to like if I don't want to cook. But yeah.
Is that your sibling in the comment that said rice? I love that they know you so well and they're just like rice.
I can like no rice. I don't see rice as being bad. Like, even though you cook the worst rice, we can work with it. We can do something with it to make it good. But I always feel we can never go wrong with rice, really. But yeah, I'm trying to eat less rice this year. I told myself that last year. I tried 2 days a week, 3 days a week, but I can't just see myself not eating. All those people that are vegan, I don't know how you guys do it too, but grace to you.
I mean, you can eat rice as a vegan. It's just the things that go on top of the rice. That's a different conversation, but that's totally cool. My next icebreaker question. So if you could tell us a word that starts with like the first letter of your name to use to describe you, what word will that be and why?
Exceptional service. That's
wow.
A word. It's a phrase. It's not a word, but it's a word for me. It's exceptional service, excellence. I'm someone that I strive to be excellent in all that I do, and not just excellent in all I do, but when people come meet me, I want the experience they get from me to be much more than what they expected. So I'm always trying to do over. I'm extra. Anybody that knows me knows I'm extra. With some few A's at the back. I love not just meeting people's needs, but going over and beyond. That will make you say, wow. So anything that will make you say, wow, I didn't expect this. That's all I stand for.
Okay, I'm here for that. You know, I always think people are going to find that question difficult, and then y'all just think about a word and you just start talking, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's one of my value systems, but yeah.
That's great. That's great. So now we're going to head into the interview proper. And for those of you who are joining us, feel free to ask us questions through the question mark button. But pretty much whoever comments the most today and is relevant to this conversation and is also following Amy and myself, you're going to be going home with one of her books, Living a Meaningful Life. Yes. Yeah. So make sure that you are all commenting because I want you folks to get this book as well, okay?
All right. Not just comment, but if you know someone that needs to be on this live right now, invite them in, send this live to them, let them join in, and let's just have fun, really. That's all today's about.
You heard Amy, so go invite some people. All right, so I know you've told us a little bit about yourself, but what does a typical day look like for you?
A difficult day is a day whereby nothing is going well. You know, you have like different things on your to-do list, but you probably met 1 out of 5 or 6, or like most of the time it's mostly work and I'm doing like my day job, and some people just don't get it. They just pile on different projects for you to do, and it's just like, I have other things to do that it's not just to work. Because I'm a multitasker, so if you just give me work, I'm just like, I can't do my full-time job just like at a go. I must take breaks and do other things. That's just the way I'm built. So difficult is when people just don't get that immediately needs to also rest and not do things. And if I probably try and do something that day, or I get like a bad news, that can also go wrong for me. It's not the best, but in everything, I always start my day with a lot of affirmation. So I think that's always like frames my day for me, just affirming myself. I'm like, no matter what comes my way, this day will not stress me. I'll literally take control of the day. And for most part, it works, but everybody will still have down days. And sometimes I just tell people, when you have down days, just shut everything down, take some breaks. If you need to go outside to just breathe fresh air, if you just need to watch something, if you need to eat comfort food, because that's what I go back to. If you need to do that just to feel a little much better. You can't kill yourself. Life is already difficult on its own. So just always look for the positives in things and move with that.
That's good. That's good. Whatever is going to make you feel better, it takes some time to do that so your day
Yes.
will feel a little bit better. And Neola said affirmation is so important, and
Very
I love
important.
that. So, what inspired you to start living meaningfully?
Guys, this story, I'm glad that I need to talk about it because this story is amazing. And I know that living meaningfully is good. I never saw my living meaningfully. I started living meaningfully 2018, August 2018. All we started, it's not I, it was we. It's very community of people. We started living meaningfully 2018, August. And the call just came in. So annoying. Anyways, I can tell you that when I started living meaningfully 2018, August, by the beginning of the year, it was not in my schedule at all. It was not in my schedule because I just finished masters. My plan was to do. People that know me before know that I did Meso 8. My plan was to take on Meso 8, like my food catering business, and continue with that. But then again, the book took precedence because I released the book on my 25th birthday in June 2018, and that took precedence. So I'm like, okay, priority. I did that, and Living Meaningfully by June 1st, 2018, Living Meaningfully was still not in the picture. So I did my book launch on my 25th birthday, which was June 24th, 2018, and still Living Meaningful was not in the picture on my birthday. But during my keynote speech, you know how God just takes over. I said, this is more than just a book. It's a forum. It's a community of people. I even know that I said that. I had to like replay, go and watch the replay. Because sometimes you're talking, but it's like literally God takes over. My life is everything, my modus of operandi is the Bible. So I have that relationship with God. So I went back to that. So after the event was over, a lot of people helped plan. I'm a people's person, so a lot of people helped me plan that event and created a WhatsApp group to plan the book launch. So I after the day was over, I reflected on the day. Next day, I woke up in the morning and just like, okay, I prayed for them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just give a thank you message on the group, thank everybody personally and corporately, and close the group. While I was praying, God told me that no, this is not just a book launch. These are the core people that would start a community, a living meaningfully community. You have to share the vision with them and they have to run with it. There's no point writing a book about living a meaningful life if the people around you are not working in that. If the people around you, the core team, do not practice what you want people to read. Because it's one thing to write about a book about life. Everybody has their different experience. Life is not just a one size fits all. But create a community of people that understand this, talk about topics that would enrich people, not just talk about them, but give people the tools and the resources that they need to be all that they want to be. So that was what really started it, and I shared that vision with the group. I had to call everybody personally. So this was like we're 18. I had to call everybody personally, like, oh, like, yes, this is what God told me. And I just asked them about their own vision, what they want to accomplish in life. Because I mean, people's person actually, it's not about me, it's about, because I feel like I understood my purpose early on in life. So it's more on making people understand where they're called, to give them clarity and work with them. I'm a supporter. So I called everyone and shared the vision, shared the long-term goal. I understand that people had busy schedules, but if this is something that you want to be part of, this is non-profit. This is not something that I envision making money from. It's more on helping people be better versions of themselves. And yeah, I shared the vision. It was very easy. Well, if it's God ordained, you don't stress. Very easy. Share the vision. Got to know what people want to do. It's not just about sharing the vision, but you have to be very invested in people. So I took notes of what everybody wants to do. Make sure I was invested in their growth, because that's where it all starts from. And make sure that they are living a meaningful life before we actually go out. So once I shared the vision, we all came together, brainstormed, then we decided to create structure. I'm someone of structure. Decided to create structure, and we started the page August 2018. So that was 2 months after God spoke about the vision to me, and I did, like, God has just moved. That's all I would say, but that's how Living Meaningfully started.
That's good. That's good to hear. And a couple of things that you said reminds me of Dami's book, Busy Making Dollars. You know, you're talking about community, having like-minded people like going with you. if you want to go for it, you can go with like people. So that's nice to see that connection over here. And I see Dami in the
Yeah.
comments also snapping. So I'm here for that. But if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Diasporic Nigerian. This is our Nigerian Professionals in Canada series, where we pretty much just interview Nigerian professionals here to know what exactly they're doing and how they can help you as a community. So my next question for you, I know you talked about writing, living meaningfully or living a meaningful life, but tell us a little bit about that process of you being an author. What were some highlights? What are some lowlights that came with that process? Let us know everything.
Fun fact, guys, I never read books as a child. I always scolded for not reading books because I'm the firstborn of 5. And I was always in the kitchen. I love food. From a very young age, I love food. My parents were all about taking it. Wherever you go, you must take a book and read. Never read a book, never did anything. I got scolded for it. And I think I got my first book when I was moving from Nigeria to Canada. That's when I got my first book, and it was called Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man by Steve Harvey. That was the title of the book. I'm just like, man, I'm just glad I'm living on this book. Thank you for giving me for remove. So I was left with that book on the plane, and I'm just like, I'm coming to this land on my own. By the way, I was the first person in my family to enter Canada, to enter this place, and it's far away from home. So I was just like, I don't know what to expect. I'm going to live that independent life, and that's how I, picked up that book, the book. I started reading, and as I read it, I think it just framed my paradigm. But still, I was still not a writer. I'm a numbers person. I'm a data girl. I love numbers. So yeah, so that's what happened. That's how I started reading. I started reading, but I was not interested in being an author. I was not a writer. I was just like, okay, let me just read to be a better person. That's literally what it was for me. Then what happened was, I tell people in every challenge, there's always something to be thankful for. After I was done, I went to McMaster University. Shout out to everybody that went to McMaster University here. So I went to McMaster University. It was a challenging experience for me because I studied computer science. I always thought computer science was, just fix something, plug your laptop, do one or two things. I don't know that. Because in Nigeria, they did not teach coding. It was not that. It was just more on, just tweak one or two things. But I saw a different computer science when I entered this country. And that was the beginning of I'm actually living, I'm actually adulting, I'm actually facing, because when I saw people that, dropped out of school, I'm like, why are you dropping out of school? What's going on? But it was the first year of my master's that I'm just like, okay, dropout is real, because I was at that point of dropping out. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things whereby I went through the alumni wall to see who people that graduated from computer science. And it was just like 2 people. When I got in 2011, 2008, only 2 people graduated from that program. And right now, in my first year, we're already 127. I'm like, what are the odds that I'm part of these 2 people? And the numbers after that were not encouraging. The next alumni were like 8 people. The next were 16. I'm just like, what are the odds? After first term, from 125, we dropped to 72. I'm like, hey, what are the odds I'm going to stay in this program? So yeah, so all that just shaped that. Of course, I took other things in between to boost me. I could not just take computer science. Thanks, shout out to my mommy. She gasped me. She was like, why would you leave something God has already brought you to? I'm like, what do you know? How do you know it was God that even brought me to this thing? But yeah, I was able to juggle computer science and business and then pass school. But then again, I didn't get a job. Once I was done school, I didn't have a job. So from May to August, I was unemployed. I was done school. I'm done school, now what? But during that time, I also started building my relationship with God, and God dropped my spirit, start a blog. I was passionate about people finding their purpose, because that's something I found at an early age. And I'm just like, I'm who I am because of the people and experiences around me and people that I have that gassed me up and made me find my purpose at an early age. So I had a mantra from when I was 18 years old. It was called living a meaningful life. That was just my mantra in life, but it was just something God gave me, but I just don't know what to do with it. But yeah, 2015 was when I announced, okay, I'm not doing anything. I don't have a job. Let me just write a blog post about purpose. And that's how the blog post started. I only knew one topic, purpose. I don't know how that blog would take. What so I literally just went with it. I'm like, okay, let me just do something. But it was in that challenge, in that um gap gap months that consistency is something that has also played off in my life. Consistency is what has produced this book, what has made me go find everything I do. So I spoke about purpose, but after I wrote that post, I just started getting ideas here and there. And based on those ideas, I'll just write things down. I'm like, okay, I've written one post. What's next? I just started writing posts, and I just set a goal to write at least 2 posts a month. So that's how it started. And I started my blogging June 2018. By October 2018, God laid on my heart that this blog will be turned into a book. When the idea came, I canceled. I said, no, I cannot, like, I don't understand how that's going to happen. So I canceled the idea. This was October 2015. I'm like, it's not me. I'm not a writer. I've not even written. It's just blog posts I'm writing. So this was what dropped in my spirit 2018 October. Sorry, 2015 October. I just kept on writing blog posts 2 every month. I got a job finally in August, but I was just consistent writing 2 blog posts every month. Fast forward to 2017. 2017, you know, Heather Lindsay and Connie Lindsay started they had a webinar on how to publish a book in 30 days. And that's when the word that God gave me 2015 came back. Oh, I meant to write my blog, but I just did not know how to go about it. I'm like, okay, let me join that webinar. I paid for the webinar, and to tell you, I was much more confused. And after me, that I should not even write a book, because I was worse than when I even entered that webinar. I'm like, okay, this is not for me. No, I'm not doing it. And that was what happened. But this was January 2017. So in May 2017, shout out to Tosin that you interviewed 2 weeks ago. She was a blessing, really. She just came to me and, Amy, Heather Lindsay is starting a publishing company, and they're taking in people that want to write books. I'm like, I'm not only want to write. No, she just literally, I don't know.
Just came to you.
So I'm like, okay, send me, because I follow Heather Lindsay. I did not even see it because I was not meant to see it. But God just used Tosin, drew her to me. She sent me the link, and I just inquired about what it takes to, publish a book. They gave me all the details. I'm just like, okay, but I was not doing anything with this. My birthday, June 2017, I did a get together with my friend. Or they threw a surprise party for me, and 98% of the gifts I got were books, like either gift cards or journals. I'm just like, I've not told anybody. It was so bad, because I'm like, what are you guys trying to tell me? Like, I don't tell you guys anything. And my mentees were there. People were like, my mentee and my mentors were there. I'm just like, oh, I now literally let it out. I'm like, before my next birthday, I'll publish a book. I've not started writing, nothing. I'm just like, yo, what am I getting myself to? So that's why I believe there's a power in your words, because sometimes you don't even know when you speak, but you speak. And now, when he said that, I'm like, oh my God, okay, I already put out a word there. I need to actively leave it out. Mm-hmm. So I now got in touch with the Heather Lindsay's company, which Tosin recommended, and we started the whole how long this would take. They asked me questions like, when do you want the book published? I'm like, yeah. So when I had to start doing all the logistics, I said, okay, I'm turning 25 next month. So I'm a structured person. So I gave them like 2 months gap. So I told them by April, March, I want the book ready. Mm-hmm. That's okay. So it was when they gave me price. The price was not cheap. It was very expensive. I never have that money in my bank account. But I told them I cannot pay this. They said, oh, I can do instrumental payments. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So once I put my first money down, that's when it became official that I was writing a book. Mm-hmm. But this time I'm still not, I don't know, like, I literally, no, what happened? I forgot to say something. Before my birthday, I was in an Uber going to my friend's house. And I was just looking out of my Uber, and I had a vision. I saw myself speaking in organizations, on stages, and my book being a resource tool in organizations and school. Mm-hmm. And God said that if you don't do this, I'll give it to somebody else. I had to snap out. I'm like, okay, I have to do it. And it was just like, 2015 was when God told me about it, but it was not the right time. Mm-hmm. It was not the right time to execute. It was just one of those things that dropped in my spirit. But once I saw that vision 2018, I'm just like, okay, there are just a lot of signs coming to me at once that I knew that it was the right time to execute in 2017. So I remember I kept my money down. I'm just like, okay, this has started. I literally now grabbed content from my blog posts, literally put them in a Word document. Based on consistency that I've been doing since 2015, put everything down, and believe you me, I already had like almost 70 something pages. I'm like, this is already, because this book is like 150 pages. I'm just like, wait, so people ask me, when did I start writing? Yeah. I don't know if I should tell you 2015 when I started my blog post, or I should tell you 2017 when I put everything down and actively started working on it. So that's how I started. That was more on consistency. It was not from scratch. It was much more on a build-up that produced living a meaningful life today. Yeah.
That's such a beautiful story. I'm here for it all the way. Like a lot of times, you know, apart from the fact that sometimes it's not the right time, some of us are just stubborn. It's just like God has put in our hearts that, you know, this is something that you're meant to do. And then we keep finding different ways to be like, maybe not me. But, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes something happens. And in this case, I think like Tosin was one of those people that was like your divine helper at that moment who tried to indirectly push you in that direction. So that's beautiful to hear. Another thing that you said just now that stood out to me was, you know, you basically taking content from your blog post and then adding that to your book. And that's a lesson on just like repurposing content. A lot of times something that you will need to improve on is something that you've already written before. So you just need to take from that and just change the way you present that. So we all need a Tosin. Yes,
we all do.
A Tosin.
Definitely
for sure.
What takes us far in life, we all need them. For
sure. All right. So for those of you who are just joining, welcome. You are on the Diasporic Nigerian, and today we're talking to Amy from Living Meaningfully, and we're going to be giving out two of her books, Living a Meaningful Life. So, you know, please make sure that you are very engaging in the comments.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you're following Amy. Make sure that you're also following the Diasporic Nigerian, because that's how we are going to be selecting the winners. Also, shout out to
not following me, but following Living Meaningfully. So
you
guys, so make sure you follow Living Meaningfully and the Diasporic Nigeria to win this book. It's actually, this book is your life partner, your life buddy. So you want to win this for sure.
For sure. And shout out to Ortho. Ortho is sponsoring those two books today. So shout out to you. All right. So, have you thought about writing another book at this point?
You want me to let the cat out of the bag right now? But first of all, this is not just, I've written one other book after this, but that book is called Love Never Fails. And I co-authored that book with 3 other authors. So I have a book I wrote on forgiveness in that book. So that was published 2019. I didn't really publicize. I don't know why I did it, but some people don't know that I have a second book, but it's a co-authored book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I have a co-authored book called Love Never Fails, also on Amazon. By the way, this book is also on Amazon, everywhere books are sold. We also have the ebook, we have the Audible on iTunes, on Amazon Audible. Yeah, it's also there. So make sure that if you're not a paperback person, you can always just get the ebook or the audiobook. So yeah, I have 2 books, and yes, I'm writing another. I have books, lineup of books I'm working on, but something is coming by God's grace before the end of the year. I'm writing another book. It's in the works. I'm someone that's not just about writing. It's more on let God lead. When it's time, it's time. It's just more on the message. The right time to come, it will come. But yeah, things are in the works. Stay tuned. Just keep following me. I'm a bunch of surprise. So just keep following my journey, and you'll
definitely agree. You're a bunch of surprises, and I'm here for it. So someone just asked in the comments, where do we get this book? So you can get it everywhere books are sold. You can get it off Amazon. You can get the ebook as well if you're not into paper books, and you can save some papers. But okay, you also started another page recently called A Wow A Day. So tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, like I said earlier on, my life is built on consistency, and I just don't do unless I hear. And once I hear from God, I make sure I do, because that's how I've been operating. So January 2016. So 6 months after I graduated from McMaster, God laid on my heart to share insights, my word of the day, what I learned every day, and that also kept me accountable. So I started sharing that on my story. on Snapchat and on Instagram. And if people have been following my journey since 2016, you will see that word of the day has evolved. I started off with word of the day was, and then I had that, that smiley light, that light smiley that had a lamp or that light bulb. That was I started off using as my design. Anyhow, I started off doing that consistently daily. I think I have the grace for consistency. That's something I started in January 1st, 2016. So that started. That took people were that I did not even know. I was just doing, but I did not know how much it will impact people. People started reaching out to me, male and female, and people will call me how that taught them. People will get on the call with me though. People get emotional. I'm just like, wait, like it's not that deep, but
like,
it was really helping people. It was, and I think that was my fault to keep going. Sometimes you need affirmations to keep going, but it also made me realize that I was called to it. I started doing it, and then along the way, I got different suggestions. Oh, I should make an app for it. I shouldn't just put it on my story. People just do screenshots, but I just don't want to do an app that was just word of the day. It's more on what else can I offer and type thing. So I took all this feedback, but I was still thinking about it. I rebranded at some point the word of the day. But yeah, it was last year October when God placed it on my heart to create a standalone page for my word of the day. And now that it's one thing to do word of the days, but you know how the world is getting global. People react much more to videos than to words. So God, I did not even see that until God dropped in my spirit. I'm like, oh, I'm not like all these things. I do like all these things. I don't like doing videos. I rather write and not talk to people. But yeah, so that happened. So God placed in my spirit, and He told me that this is going to be something I do daily. I'm like, video daily. First of all, like when He told me, I didn't have. First of all, I don't have a tripod in my house. Nothing. I'm just like, I don't like videos. I'm not into video editing. Nothing like that. But when it came, once I heard, and I'm like, okay, what happened? Once I literally just saw, or you know how your recommendations on Amazon, I saw like the tripod. I'm just like, okay, why are they recommending it? And not let me just buy it just for the future. Not knowing that I would need, like God was literally just ordering my steps. The thing was sitting in I set it up. The thing was sitting in my room for like 2 weeks before Tony told me that they wanted to have a live session with me. I'm like, live. And I'm like, what would I place my phone? And literally, Trey was looking at me. And I think that was just, God is just very intentional. And that was just like, okay. And as I get to much more, I'm still not comfortable doing videos, but I got much more comfortable. Like, okay, this is not something I want to do, but this is something I need to step into. So I started doing videos, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to create a standalone page. January 1st is going to kick off. So I put recording videos, and yeah, that's how it's been. It's been the stories, the feedback so far. It's God. I give all the glory to God. It's been amazing, and I'm just grateful. I'm also excited seeing the whole journey because I did not know I was going to go 30 days. The whole of January, I did not know that I was going to post videos every day for 30 days. I did not say that, but thank God for grace and strength to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, that is a lot of commitment, and I thank you for that and your consistency. Like you mentioned it before, I think you were blessed with consistency. That is one thing that I did in my life. I'm semi-consistent, but I could use a little bit more of consistency. So maybe offline we can chat about that looks like. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're chatting with Amy. We're going to be giving out 2 of her books, Living a Meaningful Life. So make sure you're commenting, make sure you follow her, and you follow her on living_meaningfully, and that you're also following the Diasporic Nigerian. So you've talked about all these things that you're doing. And we also know that like you work. So how exactly do you manage all these ventures together?
Okay. I first of all, in everything in life, I'm someone of structure. You have to build structure to what all that you do. And if things you're doing they are God ordained, those are things God has called you to do. It will give you grace to walk in all those different callings. For me, I plan. Like I said, I'm not someone that works 9 to 5. I must take breaks. So I'm always planning how my every hour is going and make sure that I'm prioritizing what is important, because it's one thing to always want to, if you don't plan, I feel like if you don't plan, you see yourself doing a bunch of things and you don't especially if you have a lot of things on your plate. So I tell people plan, and also it's one thing to do a lot of things, but don't just do things just because they are good. Make sure that you're called to them, because you'll just see yourself struggling if you're not called to do all that you do. So because there's grace that comes when God has called you to do certain things that you're called to do. You find yourself, even though you might spend much more longer hours than your day, but because you're passionate about those things and God has called you to them, you don't mind losing sleep and working long hours on those things. So for me, that's what has worked for me. I plan my day. I start my day early. I set my day as early as 6, 7. I'll say I start my day early as 4, 5. But since the pandemic, I'm waking up around 7, 8 because I'm not going to work. But yeah, I start my day early. And then after, like, I also like the pandemic too, I sleep late. Before I used to sleep around 9, 10. But sleep is also very important, guys. So don't try and do so much and you don't sleep, because it's only sleep that when you sleep you're able to do so much more and have that help to keep going. So that's how I literally prioritizing all that I do, my tasks, and making sure I'm not just doing things because they are good, but they are God sent to me.
Okay. And I think one of your videos on Owawe Day, I forget what the term is, but you talked about, it was something about blocking time.
Mapping.
Yes, time mapping. That was one of those things. For some weird reason, I had never heard about it before. And that was really something that was super helpful to me, just because I have a lot of things that I'm doing, you know, like professionally and just with the Diasporic Nigerian. And I find that
quickly.
Sorry?
Can I just quickly touch on time mapping?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So for time mapping, I created that structure, but some days just want to win those days. It's not like you're going to do that every day of your, because sometimes you just want to like flow. You don't want to be put into a box. But I feel like, it's not I feel, I believe that once you plan every hour, you're much more focused and you see much more productivity in your day, especially if you have so much to do, because you don't want to spend 4 hours. You know, there's something called it's called the Parkinson's law, where you do work with amount of time. If you say you're doing something for 3 hours, time fills up. You'll do that thing for 3 hours because you already allocated 3 hours to that thing. But if you say you're doing it for 1 hour, you'll meet that 1 hour. So if you give it much more time, you will spend time doing so much, like doing that. So I believe that, you know, you're meant to plan every hour, and based on that hour, you'll be able to see productivity. So there's something I tell people, try it out and see how it works. And if you see productivity, why not keep doing it? I do it every now and then, and it helps me.
Yeah, I definitely think it's super helpful. I just have a lot of things that I'm juggling as well. And I was just like, why did I never think about this before? Like, this makes a lot of sense. So thank you for sharing that. See, your words are impactful, so I'm here for it. All right. So I know you talk a lot about, like, you know, leaving an impact, you know, a legacy and all of that. But what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered of someone of influence who gave her all for people. I'm a people's person. I want to just help people. I'm opportune. I'm very privileged to to be given birth in the type of family I gave birth in. So there are lots of things that my foundation was already structured. So there are lots of things that I don't have to deal with. But life is filled with so much, and people are dealing with a lot. I think God has also, I'm called the bright light, so I'm empowered to illuminate other people. God has also called me to help ease that burden, because sometimes God puts people on your path because He knows that you cannot go through all you went through alone, and you cannot determine what family you are born in, but you cannot determine how you want to live your life. So you have to connect with the right people that would help you. And I love to a fault. I help to a fault. So I want to be remembered for someone who helped people, who supported initiatives, and just helped people become better, and someone of impact who gave her all for everyone, everything that she did, and someone of excellence. So that's what I want to be remembered for.
That's good. That's good. I see a few people are joining us. Welcome. We're still chatting with Amy from Living Meaningfully. You can get a chance to win one of the 2 books that is going to be given out. Just make sure that you're following at Living_Meaningfully, and you're also following us here on the Diasporic Nigerian. Make sure you're commenting, and then you could be the winner. Okay. We have just a few more questions left. So if you're also in the audience and you want to ask us a question, feel free to put it either where the question mark box is or just put it as one of the comments, and we'll be sure to ask Amy this question. But my next question for you is, how can your initiatives help Nigerians in Canada?
Okay, so the thing about I think also I'm sorry I just finished reading this Busy Making Dollars by Dami. It's a important book. Everybody should pick that book up if you haven't, and it also helps you transition to here. People that are here, we are privileged. You can't come with the same mindsets you have in Nigeria here. I feel that things change, and you need people around that I've already been in the game and I've been able to navigate different paths. I would say for Living Meaningfully, where we come in, Living Meaningfully is a legacy brand. It's not just like I'm the founder. I'm privileged to be the founder, like I always say, but I have key people that I help. It's more on bringing people that you can see potential. You see potential in, and you want them to hone their skills. So it's more on the skill acquisition place where you learn. So I would say volunteer with us. But what really we help you, we help people connect them with the right people that they need. So if be it in the finance world, in the career space, in the immigration space, we connect you with different communities that would help you be that well-rounded individual. Because sometimes it might be very time-consuming to go through people, but people are willing to support you and help you through that journey. We do events to talk about life, talk about your struggles, talk about things that you're finding. If it's adulting and living, if it's something that you want to gain help with, we bring different speakers in to speak about these things, and they all have their own communities. They're all flourishing in their own respective things, but just channel you to the right things. Also be part of the community whereby you're involved, if it's in content creation team, if it's in the events planning team. That way, we are also a non-profit organization that's registered, and so it's one of the things you build skill sets and you can put on your bio. You can use that to shape you and be prepared for the marketplace, because I know that it's very hard to come here and you see different things, but we channel you to like if you come and meet me right now, if you come and meet anybody from the team, let me know what you want to do, and if it's something that has to do with politics or anything, I will channel you to Mary, because she's very big on that. So it's more on helping people be better, not just helping people be better, but supporting them. I think one thing we miss, as I see a lot of Indians doing it, but something we miss here, people are much more concerned with me, that we don't have that community involvement. Everybody's not concerned about the next person. So it's more on, let's build that community whereby we're able to support you on your journey. It's not just me, it's not just you. It's more on, we are cheering you on. I want to build, this year we're more on networking and collaboration. We want to build a community whereby I'm not outsourcing from another place with other people that I'm not sure of, but I'm using the talents that are within the community. We're promoting those talents, we're promoting their businesses, we're promoting their brands, so that you get the audience you need and you grow as well. Because what's the point supporting people that are already made, and people that have potential just live in that mindset of I have potential, but it's not being utilized, or you're not maximizing what God has called you to be. So we're all we have 7 core areas: spiritual development, leadership, finance, and all these areas. There's 7 core areas. You can check it out on our page. But we are called to just shape you, support you on your journey, and just connect you with the right people that will help you get to where you want to get to.
Okay, that's really good. If you're here and you're not following at Living Meaningfully, Living_meaningfully, make sure you follow their page. Make sure you learn and see what else they're doing. And I hear what you say about, it's like our community doesn't do a lot of things together, and this is the time. Like, if you've heard me talk before, like I'm tired of people saying, our community doesn't do things together. I think it starts with us, and we should continue to find those ways. And I think it comes with, us suggesting each other and being like, this is someone you can go to, us collaborating on a bunch of events together and just taking it from there. Because especially now, I think when we were talking on Clubhouse together, there's a couple of people who need those connections. And I think connecting with people like Amy from Living Meaningfully is something that can be helpful to you. I know that you folks have a few events coming up, so tell us about those events.
Yes. So we normally have 4 main events every year. Last year we had a big conference, what we normally do Oh, that was our first conference, first of all, but it was an event that we only had last year because of the whole pandemic. But this year, we have a lot of things coming for you. Our first event is coming up on the 20th of February, and that's on Clubhouse. And that's like the pre-event. It's more on, we're just talking about dating during the pandemic. It's a love month. Everyone wants to talk about love. But we have different twists to what we're letting out. I'm not going to give too much information, but it's more on come and share your experiences for the past, 1.5 years, not 1 year, almost 1 year. What has the dating scene look like? What does the single scene look like? So I'm just going to have conversations that flare around that. And then that's just going to lead to the main event. The main event is on the 27th of February, and it's literally called Ready, Set, Date. But date, because people allude dating to just, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. But you can date your friends. You can date friends. I can date Mary. Mary can date me. So we're just coming to just, first of all, we're big on collaboration. We're big on community. Just give people that space to have fun. We have very creative activities planned for everybody. Have fun, meet people, like-minded people, genuine people that will help you and support you through their growth. If you know me well, I'm very big on relationships, and I have genuine people around me. So if you want to get from my wealth of relationships, that's something that you don't want to miss, and you just don't know whether you actually will meet the love of your life. Who knows? But yeah, that's something that's coming up. So stay tuned for much more information. Registration is already ongoing. People that are registering, do not miss out. It's already and we have only a limited number of spaces. So don't be caught like, oh, must be nice. You need to join. You need to be involved, and you don't know where that can go. But yeah, we have that event coming up, and much more events coming up this year. So stay tuned. Aside events, we're very big on collaboration. So if you look at Living Meaningfully and okay, this is space you want to insert yourself in, it should be a space because everybody wants to live meaningfully. So just connect with us. If you want us to, if you want to push your brand as well, that's a space you want to collaborate with us. So reach out to us, and someone will definitely get in touch with you.
All right, I'm just reading the comments. Somebody said you can date friends. I feel like they should come to your event to find out if you can date your friends and how you can date your friends.
Yes, come, and we'll let you know how you can date your friends.
You should definitely attend it. Tammy is looking forward to all your events. Tolu is also looking forward to another Living Meaningfully event. So please, 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 if you've not heard of Amy before, if you've not heard of Living Meaningfully, make sure you are following her and following her page at living_meaningfully. Make sure you're registering for all these events. I think Tolu is also excited for speed dating. I'm here for it. Someone says I inspired them. Hi, Azumi. You should totally follow Amy because I'm sure Amy will also inspire you. But thank you for that. But right before your event, I just want to plug in that we are having a movie night on February 14th. So if you've seen Niger on Netflix, you know that Namaste Wahala, the Nollywood and Bollywood blockbuster, is also going to be released on Valentine's Day. One of the reasons why we're also deciding to host a viewing party is just to make sure that we're connecting people together, whether or not you're single, in a relationship, whatever it is. We just want to spend time with people. So feel free to register. Wow, English is hard. Feel free to register through the link in our bio. We're just going to have a good time. We're going to meet at 6 o'clock, chat until 6:30, and then we're going to watch the movie together from 6:30. All you need to do is bring your popcorn, but make sure you register through the link in our bio, and you will get the link just right after. And then after we've seen that movie together, what are we going to do? We're going to go and attend Living Meaningfully's event. First one on Clubhouse. And then we're also attending the speed dating event. So make sure you folks are registered for all these events through the link in our bio here at the Diasporic Nigeria, and also through the link in their bio at living_meaningfully. So
let me add something before you go on. People we need to get involved. We need to all support each other. That's the only way you grow, and that's the only way you get support. So you can't just be seeing all these things and okay, must be nice. Even though you might not know if it benefits you, come out. Just show up for the movie night. Show up for every other thing because you just never know where your connections will come from. So get involved in the community. Just don't be a backbencher, a bench warmer. show up, and you just don't know where your next opportunity lies. So I just want to leave that out there for anyone that's still thinking about showing up for this event. So yeah.
Yes, for sure. I definitely agree. I love what you're doing. I love what God is doing in your life. It's
Thank you.
beautiful. It's inspirational. You know, hearing that voice and hearing God telling you to do something is important. And also listening to that voice is something that's important, because when I think about my journey as a diasporic Nigerian, there's a lot of God and there's a lot of people who have pushed me to become this person. So I
Sure.
definitely, you know, relate and resonate with all those things that you said. But we are now at the end of this live. We've seen a couple of people who have been commenting. I mean, I don't know if you wrote down some of those people so you know who exactly you want to give.
I literally have a screen recording going on, so I'm going to go back, look at the comments, see who had the most comments, and based on that, you know, Mary and I will sit down and see who was the most engaging. So I will have to let you guys know after the life is over who won.
Sure.
So stay
I'm here
tuned.
for that.
You still have the opportunity to still comment. We still have some minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes left. So
Yeah.
grab your book.
Yes.
Thanks also again for you know, for sponsoring this book. Like, truly appreciate it. You're a blessing, and thanks for that.
Yes, for sure. If you're not following at living_meaningfully, make sure you go follow. You also have to be following the Diasporic Nigerian for you to also get this book. So make sure you're doing that. But thank you all to everyone who has joined. Thank you so much, Amy. I love the lineup of people that we've been interviewing this year. You know, like Tosin started, and Tosin was talking about, you know, like how she helps brands. And then somehow we realized that, you know, she was one of your divine helpers in this process. And then in 2 weeks, we're also going to be talking to yes. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking to Rennie, who I think has been inspirational to a lot of people's growth as well. Yes. So I love this lineup, and I can't wait for y'all to see the rest of the people that we're going to interview here on the Diasporic Nigerian. But thank you all so much for joining, and thank you, Amy, for being here.
Thank you so much, Mary, for doing this, for hosting us. I truly appreciate it, and looking forward to all that the Diasporic Nigerian has in store for us. I know it's epic, so yeah, keep on doing amazing things, really. Yeah.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna leave right now. I know some people are just joining. I'm gonna save the video and you can watch it right after. Okay? All right. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.